Hey YouTube family, I'm back with another video, and this time this video is on Miss Olivette Smellie. She put out a video a couple of days ago, and she said she was very sick, and she looked very sick. She was released to home by the hospital because she didn't want to continue staying in the hospital. And she was very fearful, and I understand her fear. It was a real fear of dying in the hospital, especially since they were trying to force her, allegedly, or coerce her to be on the ventilator. And the one thing I must say is that to follow up on what Olivette said about taking the oxygen off, well, if you take the oxygen off, of course you're going to have labored breathing, and which is difficulty breathing. And she said her chest was sore and everything was sore when the oxygen was on. And I suspect she had that soreness of the chest because she was not receiving humidified air. Whoever the nurse was who started the oxygen therapy on her did not connect it to the humidifier, allegedly. And if the air, the oxygen that you're breathing in from the machine, from the O2 tank, if it's not humidified, then you're going to have that soreness on your chest because it's going to be too dry. The oxygen at that point is too dry, and you will feel that soreness, that tightening, that dryness and pain, along with pneumonia and COVID. All of these things combined will cause shortness of breath and pain. And that's what she was experiencing. And so she decided to unplug herself. And when she unplugged herself, of course, her breathing was difficult. And I'm surprised the nurses there did not properly explain to her that she would be in labored breathing. Or maybe they did, and she didn't listen. Anywho, moving on with the story. And so going back to Olivette being sick when she was making her live video when she was just released from the hospital and talking about how sick she was. And I could not help but think that for someone so sick who has been diagnosed with pneumonia and COVID-19, who is coughing a lot, but had enough strength to talk for so long just to bring a show to her audience was, to me, ridiculous. Because if you have pneumonia and COVID-19 and you're coughing a lot, you should be resting. You should be resting your voice. You should be resting your whole body. You shouldn't be trying to make a show. So today is December the 23rd, and I'm glad Olivette is feeling better. I saw her recent video where she is really walking around her room there at the shelter and is speaking stronger. She's walking stronger, and she appears to not be coughing as much. I guess the medication they gave her for COVID-19 as well as the pneumonia is working. So kudos to Olivette on her speedy recovery. However, what I wanted to touch bases on is the Bible teaches us, not only the Bible, but the Quran and the Torah teaches us to honor thy father and thy mother. I say that to say this. A few weeks ago, Olivette Smellie put out a video, and I distinctly recalled she was standing in front of the shelter, and she was cussing her mother out left, right, and center. And all the adjectives you can think of, she was calling her mother. But sometimes God uses us as examples for others. Sometimes the full wrath has not visited us for a reason, so other people can learn from your mistakes. I'm sure a lot of people who have seen Olivette's cussing her mother out throughout the years, because I understand this is not the first time. I have seen in another tape where she did curse her mother out, and so I know for a fact it was not the first time. And I hope she learned from her bout with this COVID-19 and pneumonia. I hope she learned that she could have died and to make peace with her mother. So I hope Olivette calls her mother and makes some type of honest apology. Because a lot of times when we apologize for our wrongdoings, it's not sincere and it's not coming from the heart. So I hope she reaches out to her mother off television, off the live, off of social media, and have a one-on-one with her mother, who she wronged by cussing her out on television. That should have been handled behind the scenes. What all of it has to do is let God deal with her mother, because her judgment is coming. It's upon her. And she's going to have to answer for all the wrongdoing she did to Olivette as a child. I absolutely agree with Olivette when she said the sin is connected to the disease. And maybe it was in her subconscious that she said that, because she's so right. When she sinned against her mother by cussing her out and not allowing God to deal with her mother, she herself cussed her mother out. And so the sin of cussing her mother out was connected to the disease of COVID and pneumonia. Well, sometimes God have a way of chastising us unruly children, chastising his unruly children. And sometimes we wait for years to realize the wrath of God, and sometimes it's immediate. And I think Miss Olivette got a little piece of God's chastisement, because when you cuss your parent out the way she cussed her mother out, the retribution was swift. And she is lucky that God had enough mercy upon her and she did not meet her downfall. And she's here to tell the tale of contracting COVID and pneumonia. So once again, I absolutely agree with Olivette that the sin is connected to the disease. YouTubers, here's a little clip of Olivette interacting with her mother in one of the videos she put out on the internet.
No time for this. I ain't got no time for this shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no time at all for this stuff. And I like to vent myself and hear myself out. I see me not no time for people in madness. You understand? I have no time for it. Well, I read a sandwich yesterday. Yo, I'm not telling you the narcissist, rascal, dirty old bad breed, old drunk woman. The old dirty witchcraft woman that call herself my mama. She called the narcissist, called me a while ago, me out tell about my business. Me not bother this old dry up witchcraft woman. When my brother them cry, me not my old never care about me if you go to school or nothing. They look at dark shit woman. You understand me? I come call all this when I call my phone. Olivette, I got me up on my phone. So I say, who is this? Olivette, my phone all which. Come off from the rascal phone all which. Look here for my mama. Come off of this rascal here. Olivette, you turn it around to God. Go turn your rascal life round to God. You know so much for your breed and half. I don't know there with you. Don't call me ras phone all insect. You come like bed bug woman. Me said the woman coming like bed bug. And the first woman if I drop, when me drop out her crutches, me never show she my mama. The way the woman did me from my pan, the woman never hug me and tell me she love me yet. Come to go ras gas like me in a day. Me and the woman and me never busy alone me sitting, you understand? Olivette, me and this one phone, Olivette. God turn it around to God. Why she don't want me a rascal God? Watch you know, she ain't got a brother and sister. If God tell me say me nah do good with God and me nah believe in a God, me nah walk and catch one, not your hustle man get thing on herself. This old dirty witchcraft narcissist woman Irish she compare. If you come gaslight me. You know see the palm blood clot welfare. If you take care of the people where you're there. I have money, you have to still live like that. Eh? Eh? Go call Bolo, you walk and breathe and suck with all about like dog and breathe up. Go call Bolo and tell that to the earth life. You know see me that big ras man. When my big son, we are cure people and all them shit there. You will not suffer with sickness, because my son not cure you. He's a dirty ras man. God will not send me for your dirty narcissist bumbo woman. He's a dirty woman. Me not think out of your crutches me drop out. Oh, I said to my blood, Olivette, I frightened me. Say, who is this I frightened me? I said, woman, Olivette, you turn the right to God. God not deal with you. You need to turn your nasty ras life to God. And stop harass your pity them. Stop calling man bother and body not bother you. Me not remember about you. Me not beg you not. Me not catch on your place. When you call me, you're like a fat girl over there. You understand when I take care of I call me private. I come text it for me. Gotta realize that all I want to do. I'm planning all Jesse. Now bring me down. God is only putting me up because here's a part of what happened to me over there. You call the man and chat me with the man over Jesus and bring me down and make all these things happen to you. You do it to all of your picking them is a dirty ras, dirty crutches woman. Iris is a dirty ras, you're dead. You're going dead to mama ras, Iris. God now no lock no part with dirty people. And you can't call yourself evangelist here preaching nobody and call the people gas like them. Me not have nothing to do with my business, sell me cream. I'm not the shelter with me, me not bother you. You call me about Olivette, with a bumbo clot narcissist. Oh, woman. Me I tell you want two box there, your bumbo wolf to make you move up, you know. You want some box, your bumbo wolf to make you move up, man. Goody, me soon call you back. Goody, me soon call you back. Business, me not bother nobody. You want to call me on my phone and fight me and give me headache. You know what I'm saying? For no reason at all. Me not beg you, man. No man and me no good for a long time, dog. Every time she come with problem. For the first time I go to Jason, she called with a problem. When me over there time before the Jason, and the father was alive, she just come and come sit around dinner table. She come look the ras man, the pooper. And I come criticize me, I cut off the ear, take off the ear, take off the wing, make her see her head. The man say we love Olivette just the way she is. Always I bring me on that piece of shit, man. Me never have a business, good God forgive me to the good, me for deal with that woman here. I am tired and sick of Iris. Move your bumbo hole, dirty Iris and go. Move your blood clot, may God kill me for that. Iris go broke your blood clot like in your dead woman hole. And leave me alone, it's a dirty woman. You don't mean to pick them no good. None of them no blood clot. You sit down and gossip every day. Yeah, you're whoring bolo, whoring and all them blood clot there. And you got welfare and take for Papo data. So you can't sit up on welfare and get food stamp. Fuck you, Iris. You understand? Don't call my blood clot phone come gas like me. Me not do you nothing, me not root you or nothing. Olivette, and I cuss me and all kind of stuff. Me know you. Woman call up the narcissist bumbo hole and go here. I didn't found a blood clot, man. The moment my business don't have a blood clot, this old hagger call me. The old hagger never make a school. The old hagger hate me so blood clot much. My sister, what she love, she take me out of blood clot. Regular school my granny used to send me. I said me got primary school. When the girl don't ball, I got a ball, the girl don't want to stay in a school. She said me in a basic school, go sit down next to the girl in school. Well, all the things that me don't learn already, just because she run the girl over me. Because school whole day can't learn nothing, the company girl in school. And the wickedness that she blood clot though. You understand me? From me lick me that woman, they eat me, that girl woman never give me pad. When me get period, I push me and put it on my blood clot front. Bush. I bush me take and put it on my drawers. That woman never buy me pad. She never give me a nappy, she never give me nothing. She never explained to me. She said, this man on the left, walk on the right. That's all she fucking did. I grew up like a boy pitney. That woman never hugged me and tell me she loved me, not even till this day. I make my first Facebook check 1,500 and I spend the whole night back in a city carry to go get her. She told on her cuss me pan top of it. And be little me pan top of it, that piece of shit, man. And my brother Kennedy because she praise and if I land and millions of dollars too. You understand? And I go for a well that pitney. I have the pitney where they call me pit. That fast girl. You understand me? If you take set for me. Who the bumper will I go broke next somewhere? Iris got dead. Got blood clot dead. Iris got dead. Your blood clot and bolo too. You got dead and me and me should have blood clot crashes. I got dead. Remember me tell you that. Me not no respect for none of who got blood clot dead Iris. For dead long blood clot time. Right, they never call the police. They never do nothing about it. And you sit there and make them do as them want. And I'm here the one that go to sell your shit them. Help your plant market. As you say, by YouTube, they're the only one with a good heart. Woman, you're going to go to the bottom of the hell.
So YouTubers, two wrongs don't make a right. And when you have a lousy mother or a lousy father, you let God deal with them. And you move on with your life in a positive way. And you show them that you are going to be great on this earth without their help. But you let God deal with them. Because if you square up against them and you cuss them out, the way Olivette cussed her mother out, then you look bad. You end up being the villain. You end up looking very bad in the eyes of the public. And it doesn't really do anything for you. I mean, you get a lot of things off your chest, but you can get those things off your chest in therapy. You know, you go to therapy and you tell the counselor all the things that you had to go through as a child, and you get it out that way. It does the same benefit. It gives you the same benefit as telling someone off. So why not do it in a positive way? Go to therapy and express yourself that way, and you let God deal with that person who has done you wrong. Here is a second clip, a second tape, a video that she put out on the internet a couple of years ago, cussing her mother out.
Wait, mom, what you mean, my father? When you say Tony catch up where? When my father catch up, mom? I say your grandfather. So, mom, what my grandfather have to do with me and you? The reason they were not funeral, they want to pay $446 So, mom, you have to sit down. Mom, let me ask you a question now. Honestly, now, we are talking. I don't talk about this sex. There's no sex, you fuck, make you get 15 pitney, woman. Woman, you fuck, make you get 15 pitney.
So YouTubers, drop your comments in the comment section of what you think about this video. And remember, when you put out negative stuff in the universe, like Olivette was saying in one of her videos to her mother, drop dead, Iris, drop dead. This was just a few weeks ago, because that video was her in front of the shelter. And about 2 weeks after, she's the one who almost dropped dead. She's the one who almost died in the hospital of COVID and pneumonia. So you have to be very careful with your mouth. Words are powerful when you put them out in the universe, because there's something called karma. And there is a God that sees all and knows all. So when you open your mouth to speak, you have to be very careful of your words. Okay, YouTubers, there you have it. That's just part of the video of Olivette cussing her mother out. And those pathetic words of, go dead, Iris, go dead. And who almost just died? Olivette, of COVID and pneumonia. Be careful when you put negative words out in the universe. Sometimes they come back on you. YouTubers, I'm over and out. That is my commentary. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my videos and this channel. by hitting that red subscribe button on the YouTube page before you leave. Thank you.